Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be talking through some empties. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're getting into it right now. We're going to be bouncing around between hair care, skincare, makeup, because I'm just going to pull from the bag and keep it pushing here. The first thing to talk about is the Nabla Vicious Mascara, or the Jumanji Mascara as I like to call it. And this mascara I have come to really like. Despite the fact that it is $23, I really enjoy using this mascara, and I've actually started preferring it over my $5 Lash Princess that I used to use since like 2016. I was literally only buying that mascara. The only other mascaras I was trying is if they got, included in like a free sample, free gift, or like a bundle or something like that. Otherwise I was not trying mascaras. This one I happened across and I'm like, alright, well I guess I have a new mascara, which sucks because it's 5 times as expensive, but it's really good. So would definitely repurchase, have already repurchased. The next thing up is the Brtc Vitamin A Velvet Mask, which is a sheet mask that I tried. I want to say I got this in like a BoxyCharm or something like ages ago, and I just finally broke it out the other night and used it. It came with an A and a B, and I haven't used the B yet, but this mask here I really liked. I actually felt like it made my skin very like soft to the touch by the next day, and I really enjoyed using it. I would definitely repurchase this one. I don't think it's too expensive either, which is awesome. Most of the time when I do sheet masks or under eye patch type masks, I don't really feel a whole lot of benefit from any of them, but this one I did feel like I got a little something out of it, so I would definitely repurchase this one. Alright, I got a couple more mascaras up on top, so we'll talk about these. The next one up is the Milani Highly Rated Mascara, and this one has like a really chunky wand, so I feel like the formula is a little bit dry for what I prefer, so it was not like my favorite, but I picked this one up, and then I think I got a sample of this recently as well, which I'm still working through the sample again because I've literally just been using the Nabla. And then the other one that I have is the Lash Princess, so I retired this one out when I started opening up that Nabla, and this one does have also like a pretty big wand, but the front end of it is very tapered, and the reason that I like that so much is that it really allows you to get into the lashes in the inner corner without like getting mascara everywhere. I am the one that, like, if the opportunity presents itself, I will just get like a streak of mascara on my skin, and it's so frustrating. So having a wand that's very tapered like that is like a lifesaver for me. I suspect I will still continue to use this mascara, especially for like the inner corner, although the Nabla gets close with having like a bit of a taper. I'll show you this one here. So you can see like it does have a little bit of a taper, so it's easier to get into the inner corners, but some of these other brushes, like the Too Faced Better Than Sex brush that's like hourglass shaped, so freaking enormous on the end that I can't get it where I need it to go. There was no rescuing that comment. That was definitely going to sound dirty no matter what. Alright, the next thing is a Davines the Spotlight Circle. This is a hair mask that I picked up from the salon that I got pedicures with my mom at. And I did like this. I felt like it made my hair really soft. But this 50 ml packet was $12, and I'm sure there's like salon markup included in that, so I'm sure I could find it cheaper elsewhere, but I just didn't think it was like $12 worth it. And the top of this, there's not like a resealable thing, so even though this was like, I felt like more product than what I needed for one application, there was no way for me to reseal this, so I ended up having to just like kind of crinkle it up and like fold it in my shower, which just wasn't a pleasant experience. I feel like they could have done something a little different to make this a little bit more reusable friendly. Alright, the Saturday Skin Waterfall Glacier Water Cream. I've been working through a lot of moisturizers that I've been using on top of my hyaluronic acid and retinols that I've been using, and this one was one that I got in a BoxyCharm ages ago, so I've just been trying to work through all of my backlog because I just don't really want to have like excess skincare sitting around with no use. And this one was nice. It definitely had like a little bit of stickiness in the dry down, but it had a really nice like cooling, kind of reminded me of like the Laneige water cream, if you've ever tried that one. It just had like this really nice cooling gel type consistency, and it soaked into the skin, but afterwards I did feel like there was a little bit of tackiness there. Overall, I mean, I was happy enough to use the entire thing to completion, but I don't think I would repurchase this one. One, because I have so much excess skincare to be working through, and two, because it just didn't like move me enough and make me feel like the cost was going to be worth it, because I'm sure the Saturday Skin is not a cheap brand, so I just was like, nah. Alright, I did also have the Davines. This is one of their sea salt sprays, which I got maybe in a BoxyCharm, maybe in an Ipsy like ages and ages ago, but it was 100 mLs, and I went through this one. I liked it. Again, it wasn't so phenomenal that I felt like I needed to go back and repurchase this one. The curling spray that I've really been enjoying recently is the one from Way, and that one I would repurchase in a full size. I might have a little trial size in here somewhere, or I might not, it might still be in my bathroom, but there's literally nothing left in it. I just keep spraying it in the hopes that like one little squirt will come out. Nothing's happening, but that's the one that I need to repurchase, because I liked it better than this. Alright, I've got a NYX Pigment Primer in here. This is a damn classic. I love this stuff. I used to use the Milani eye primer all of the time, like 2016 until probably about a year or two ago. I was 100% ride or die for the Milani primer. Now this is like my ride or die. So I would definitely repurchase. I already have like 3 of them sitting in my drawer over there. The NYX Marshmallow Primer. I like this primer. I'm not sure that it really does a whole lot of anything, but the smell of it, it smells like marshmallow fluff, like straight up marshmallow fluff, which, side note, if you ever go to a Cold Stone and you need a really good recipe for an ice cream, cake batter ice cream with the marshmallow fluff, the chocolate shavings, the fresh raspberries or cherries if they ever bring those back, and what's the other thing? Golden Oreos. And then put it in one of the bowls that has the chocolate and the sprinkles on the outside of it. You'll have to get like a side of insulin, I'm pretty sure, to like bring yourself down from that sugar high, but worth it. And this smells just like that marshmallow fluff. So definitely happy to use that. I have a full size in my drawer of primers already that I will be breaking into very soon. Alright, I had a little mini MAC Fix Plus. This was from like a year or two ago when they did the scented ones, and I didn't really feel like these had a lot of scent to them. I felt kind of disappointed by it. I mean, it worked just fine as a setting spray. Like, I wasn't, you know, really here nor there about it, but the scent is what I bought it for, and I didn't feel like I got that out of it, so I don't think I would repurchase if they ever did any like little holiday sets or minis for these. I just don't think it was worth it. Same with this one, and I actually am decluttering it out of my collection despite the fact that it's not all the way done. One, because this is literally like 4 or 5 years old, and 2, because it just never had enough of the like citrus smell for me. It was kind of disappointing, so I am letting this one go. I mean, it works just fine as a setting spray. It's not like it's bad, like it hasn't turned, it doesn't smell bad, it just doesn't smell like anything. And I bought it because it said it was going to smell like citrus, and it just doesn't. So, a little disappointing there. Oh, yep, here's one of my eye primers. This one I probably had in a travel bag or something, because like I said, I've been using the NYX Pigment Primer for quite some time, but I had some of these floating around that were almost done, so I've been using them like in travel bags and stuff like that just to get them completely used up so that I can move them out of my collection. Again, it's not a bad primer. If you cannot get a hold of the NYX primer, the Milani primer does work really well as well. I just think the NYX one works even better, and since the cost is very comparable, I'd rather use the NYX. Alright, we've got some more mascaras in here, which is good because you should be cycling through your mascaras every 3 months. That's like pretty much one of the only guidelines I follow. This is the Nabla Major Pleasure Mascara, and I did really like this one. It has a wand more similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex not quite as aggressively hourglass shaped, but definitely like a little chunkier. I did really like the formula of this. I think the formula is quite similar to the Vicious mascara, but I like the wand in the Vicious mascara a little bit better. This one's definitely very soft, and if I got it again in like a subscription box or bundled deal or something, I would definitely use it. But given the choice between this one and like Leveling Up in Jumanji, let's level up, why not? And then I have a super old Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm sure I had this floating around from a holiday set. Probably actually this holiday set. So yeah, this used to be my ride or die back in 2016. This was like the mascara for me until I discovered the Lash Princess. And since discovering these other mascaras, I just don't feel the pull to purchase from Too Faced. Additionally, I'm not a huge fan of like some of the controversies that Too Faced has been in, so I'm just kind of taking a break from that brand. But in terms of using it up, it worked just fine. I would not repurchase. The Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. I love this stuff. It's supposed to be like gently scented, or it used to be, with like peach. It definitely has like a almost like the fake fruit ring type gummy smell to it, which I don't really care either way for that, because it's not like you smell your lashes all day. But this is a really great primer to put underneath your mascara. I typically put it on and I let it dry or start to... Okay, don't mind me, just threw that on the floor. I typically let it dry for about 30 seconds to a minute before it gets like fully hardened, and then go in with my mascara. I feel like once it kind of like fully hardens, then it's a little bit like tuggy to put on your mascara, but as it's like still like on its way drying down, it works really nicely, and then I feel like it gives some extra volume and length to my lashes. I do feel like when I use that on a regular basis, my lashes seem to be like healthier. I'm not sure if there are truly like skincare claims or hair care benefits in that primer, but I do feel like it helps. Alright, I have a super old Stila Glitter and Glow in here, or Shimmer and Glow actually. This is the shade Vivid Garnet, and it just kind of dried out on me, so during my last declutter I went ahead and moved this out of my collection. These are okay. They're really expensive though, so this little tube here was $22 if I remember correctly, and you can get things like a Jelly Much shadow from ColourPop or a Super Shock, and now there are so many indie brands that are doing really phenomenal duochrome type shades and shimmers that this is just kind of lackluster. And for the cost, like, I could literally go buy a Clionadh multi-chrome compared to this, so I definitely wouldn't repurchase at this point because I just don't think it's worth it. Alright, I have this e.l.f. primer in here, and this is one of their like unnamed primers. This is just lit from within, and I think it's one of their older products that I ended up getting, I think, as a free gift with purchase during one of my orders from their website directly. I really liked this. It had a nice, like, almost silicone-y, very smooth, very moisturizing and hydrating type like texture. It had a little bit of luminosity without being like glittery, like there wasn't like full-on mica particles in it, but it definitely did have like a luminosity to it. I would use this again if I got it again in a package, although I think for like a primer, if I was going to purchase it, I wish it was a little bit bigger, because this is kind of like a tiny size. You blow through it pretty quick. At least I did. Alright, I have another setting spray in here. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and I think, yeah, this one actually has like a decent atomizer. By the way, that's the word everybody's looking for. It's not called a mister, it's an atomizer. I don't know why that's such a hard word for everybody, but anyway. So the atomizer is pretty decent in this one. I just got rid of it because it was starting to like leak and get like crusty around the top, which I didn't really appreciate. And for me, like, I want to be able to grab stuff and confidently know it will last traveling back and forth for like a weekend away. This just wasn't going to cut it, so I went ahead and removed it from my collection. We've got even more mascaras in here. My goodness, the season of mascaras. Alright, so I did get a set of these Essence Cosmetics mascaras along with the Lash Princess one I already showed you back last year for Christmas time, and I've been working through them each a little bit at a time. This is the Sculpted Volume Mascara, and I'll show you the individual brushes if I can get them open. So this one has kind of like that curved type line to it. Was not a huge fan of this one. I didn't feel like it gave me a whole lot of volume, and the brush, I just didn't feel like I could get very close to my like inner corner lashes. Then we had the False Lash Effect Waterproof. I did like this one a lot, but I hated getting it off at the end of the night. It has the same brush head as the original False Lash Effect, but it's a bear to get off. So I don't typically use waterproof mascaras. I probably should, because I do get that like collection in the outer corner of my eyes when it's like my allergies, but whatever. And then the Curl and Volume Mascara, this is the one that's like that more traditional hourglass type wand, and I just am not digging it. Like it's too big, it's too bulky. I can't get into the like fine lashes in the inner corner, so that's a pass. I had an Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I used to like this one like a good amount, and again, the brush is just way too big. Like, I liked the actual product of the mascara, but the brush just wasn't doing it for me. I had another one of these that was unused, and I ended up decluttering it to a friend who lost all of her makeup in a fire. I went through and just got rid of like a bunch of my makeup that was unused and sent it all her way, because I was like, girl, needs some makeup. So I decluttered that one because it was unused, and it's a good mascara, it just wasn't my perfect mascara. I had a sample of the Milk Kush mascara, and again, this is like a laughably huge brush, especially on such a tiny like sample size. I was not a fan of this mascara. I did not feel like it did a whole lot for my lashes. I didn't feel like I got any like hair care benefit out of it, as it suggests it will do with the, what is it, CBD oil or whatever that they put in all this stuff with the Kush name on it. I didn't feel like it did anything for me. And then the last one was Marc Jacobs. Again, one of these like super big hourglass type brushes. Not a favorite of mine. I used to really like those. Like I said, the Too Faced one, I used to love that mascara. But now that I've seen some of the other wand designs that just allow me to get a little bit more precise application for upper and lower lashes, I would prefer a wand that's a little bit more precise. I know some people really enjoy using certain mascaras on their upper lashes, and then they use a different mascara on their lower lashes to kind of like get in like a little bit more fine into that area. I am not that person. Like, I want one mascara, one and done, and let's be on with our business. So for me, some of these big bulky like brush tips, I just can't do it. Next up is one of the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Serums, and I actually really like this as a primer or like a moisturizer under my primer. I think it works really well. The only bummer is I'm pretty sure it does not have SPF in it. So I really wish it had that, because that would be like another step that I could skip. But I think it's really nice. I got a set of 3 of these, I think, and this is number 2. And then I have one more that I literally just pulled out and started working on my desk. So I'm working my way through them. I would buy them again though, but probably on sale, because they get really pricey otherwise. Alright, next up, the Urban Decay All Nighter Cherry. Like, how old is this setting spray? When did the Naked Cherry palette come out? 2017, 2018, 2019? I don't know. No, it must have been like 2018, 2019. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so this was from that collection. I got, I think, 2 of these. I think this is the second one that I've gone through. It's decent enough. It had a very, 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 very subtle cherry scent to it. I love setting sprays that have a scent to them, so I'm definitely like, I gravitate towards those. And when they're not like super strong, I get kind of disappointed. So it was okay, but I don't think I would repurchase, because I just don't think it's like that special. I did, however, at the last, not this past Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, but the one before that, pick up the Ultra Glow All Nighter. It was like half price. That's good stuff. I really, really like that one. Alright, next up, this stuff. Okay, so this is the Clean It Zero from Vanilla & Co. This is the Tripeal Acid. This was supposed to have like an exfoliating type acid component to help to keep your skin clear. I didn't feel like that really did much of anything. It's a little bit more expensive than the original, which is in the pink container. I didn't feel like this was worth the extra like $4 or $5 to warrant the increase in price, because you just don't keep stuff like this on your skin long enough to really reap the benefits of stuff like that. Plus, when you use this, you're breaking down your makeup, so your makeup is actually still sitting on your skin with this. You really don't want to absorbing during that time. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, I did use it to completion. It worked really well, but if I were going to repurchase, which I have, I would just go with the original pink one. And what I tend to do is wait until the supersize one is on sale, and then I pick up one of those. That usually gets me through like 6 months to a year. Now that we've been in the pandemic, it's been pushing probably closer to a year, because I'm just not wearing a full face of makeup every day. I'm wearing it like once or twice a week when I'm filming, and sometimes when I go out and do things with my family, but I'm not wearing it on a day-to-day basis at work. I'm just doing eyes at work. So yeah, these I love, but this one I wouldn't necessarily pay the extra price for. Okay, so then I have this Ahava hydration cream mask, and I don't like the smell of this. I could not, honestly, because this is almost full. I couldn't remember why I had put it in this bag, but I don't like the smell of this at all, so this is definitely a hard pass. I would not repurchase. I would not pass go. I would not collect $200. And then we have the Tarte Drink of Water Hydrating Mask. And again, just trying to use up old moisturizers that I have. I did really like this one. It has that really nice like serum-y kind of water mask type sensation, and it smells so good. It smells like Sprite. Like if Sprite were a cleaning supply, that's what this would smell like. It's just delightful. I would definitely repurchase it just for the smell. I don't even know if they still make this anymore, but if I run out of all my other products, I would repurchase that for sure, just because it smells so divine. Yep. There's a cap to a product sitting in the bottom of this bag, and there's a spider in it, which is horrifying. Which is why I'm so happy I'm going to be throwing all this stuff away. Alright. I got a gift set from one of my friends, Emily. She got me this Lala Retro Whipped Cream moisturizer, and I used it up. Of course, it's Drunk Elephant, so this little thing was like, you know, $10,000. And it was nice, but again, Drunk Elephant's prices just, I can't rationalize the price for the effect. It's not like this made me Benjamin Button myself, you know what I mean? So I liked it a lot, but I don't think if I wasn't given it as a gift, I don't think I would go out of my way to repurchase anything like this. But it was a lovely gift. I really enjoyed it. There was another component to it which I haven't worked my way through yet. The Fourth Ray Coconut Face Milk, I really liked this one too. Definitely had a really beautiful coconut scent. I would repurchase this one for sure. Again, I just have a ton of like moisturizers and stuff right now that I'm working my way through, so I'm not really planning to repurchase anything until I get through all that stuff, but I would definitely repurchase once it's time. And then last but not least is another Milani eyeshadow primer, which we already talked about, so it's good, but I'd get the NYX one instead. Alright, you guys, and with that said, I think that is all of my empties that have been accumulating since probably about December time last year. Obviously I don't burn through like makeup compacts and things like that very often, or really ever at all, so for me my empties never have stuff like that in it, but I do like hearing about skincare, hair care, mascara, setting spray, stuff that I am going to go through and that I am going to repurchase, because I love to know what's going to be worth it in the long run. With that said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'm going to catch you in my next video. Bye!